Welcome back to the shipyard. Today, we are talking about Scorpion Fighters. That's right, the new Romulan Fighters. Long awaited, much hyped, but sadly, not the ships that most of us were hoping for. So, let's dig in and see why that is. Named ship, Scorpion 4, gets 5 fighter tokens, and those tokens go 4 attack, 0 agility, 3 attack, 0 agility, 3 attack, 1 agility, 2 attack, 2 agility, and finally 2 attack, 3 agility. Now, the fighters do have a hull and a shield, which is useful, and evade and target lock. Again, useful, not great. They are 90 forward firing arc only, keep that in mind, and their maneuver dial is, well, probably the worst of the 3 fighters to date. 1 maneuvers are only straight and bank, no hard turns, which both other fighters have. All the 2s in white except the straight, including the 2 come about, which is nice. I mean, I love the 2 come about white. And then all the 3s, but the come about and the hard turn are red. Again, the worst maneuver dial set we've seen. No 4 straight, nothing else, just meh. The named ability here. If you attack during a round in which you performed a come-about maneuver during the modify attack dice step, you may re-roll all of your blank results. So this is worse than a target lock. You have to do a come-about, 2 or 3, and at best, you're shooting with 4 attack dice. It would have been nice if it said, fire with an extra attack die, something like that. There's just not a lot here. Now, I will say, if you need to pull a 3 come about, it's red. You don't have an action. You've already spent your target lock from the previous round. It's nice, right? Don't get me wrong. It's a nice safety net. But you can just as easily roll battle stations, and you've got nothing to do with it. You're just stuck. So I would have liked to have seen them say, reroll your blanks or convert your battle stations into hits, or convert a battle station into a hit. Generics, we lose that 4 attack die token, so we're starting with 3 attack dice for 20 points, and you get 4 tokens. I'm probably never, ever, ever flying the generics. I might consider the named fighters in mission play, but that's about it. Alright, moving on to the upgrades, because maybe there's something that can save this. We're just going to start with the point cost, work our way from low to high. 2 points, Reconnaissance. Action, place a scan token and an auxiliary power token beside your ship. For an action and an aux, this should be 1 point, because you're doing it instead of target locking or evading. You're getting an aux, and you only have 4 ways to clear it. So, yeah, 1 point, not 2. Don't need it. And technically, by the official wording, placing a scan token does not reduce the dice from cloaked mines. Now, it should, and the way I rule it at my venue is that if you can do an action which places a scan token, then that will reduce the cloaked mine dice. But that's not official, and it should be. Alright, 3 points, Thrusters. During the activation phase, if your ship is not cloaked and you reveal a green maneuver, you may discard this card to add 1 to your maneuver speed. Great, so now you can do a 2 bank, green, or a 3 straight green, maneuvers that were already on your dial. Given that this doesn't add anything to your dial, I don't see how it's worthwhile. Yes, it's nice to be able to change your move midstream, but you're still locked into the bearing. All you're doing is changing the speed. And in order to be an effective move adjustment, you need to be able to change both. Or do an extra move. Thrusters would have been the perfect time to give us the boost action from X-Wing to do an extra 1 straight or bank. If they had done that, I wouldn't complain at all, and that would actually be worth 3 points. This card is not. Alright, for 4 points, we have Cloaked Fighters. Add the cloak action to your action bar. Yay! While your squadron is cloaked, you cannot perform a maneuver with speed greater than 1. Boo! That gives you 3 moves. 1 straight, 1 bank left, 1 bank right. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Scorpion-class attack squadron. So, you can't cloak your Fed fighters, you can't cloak your Dominion fighters. Nope. If this had said green only, it might have been a little bit better. If this had said speed 1 or 2, it would have been a lot better. If you take this and you cloak, you can't even get your named ability to work. The maneuver dial should have been really designed differently to have 1 hard turns or 1 hard turns and the come about. Another reason that just doesn't work. I'm going to move on because this card makes me sad and a little angry. It makes me sangry. Cover fire, 4 points. We've seen this before, but worth talking about again. When defending, during the roll defense dice step, you may discard this card to add a number of defense dice to your roll equal to your current primary weapon value. So at best you get up to 5 defense dice. I guess with cloaked you can get up to 8. Still, you have no quality. So yeah, check out the semi-final number 2 if you want to see how no quality on defense dice works. Or actually, how quality works on defense dice. You still go boom. Not worth 4 points. Not on the Romulan ship. Maybe worth 2 points. That's about it. Support ship, 4 points. When your last attack squadron token is destroyed, discard this card instead of removing the token. It's essentially cheat death. Stick around. 1 more hit kills you. Except 2 more hits kills you. It's okay, but it's the worst thing you could possibly have. 2 attack dice. Granted 3 agility, but is that really worth 4 points? I mean, there's so many other cards that are worth 4 points in the game. I don't know that I can justify that. I can kind of justify it on Hideki fighters because they have like 3 attack dice at this level. But for 2, I just can't do it. Alright, Torpedo Strike. Attack. Spend your target lock and place 3 time tokens on this card to perform this attack. You can fire this from your forward or rear arcs. Yeah, they taunt you and they say, hey, here's a weapon you can fire from your rear arcs, except you don't have one. Whiskets. No ship can have more than 1. That's a bummer because here's the 1 card you'd actually want to run in multiples. Except, fighters not having more than 1 per ship, but each fighter could have their own torpedo. Anyways, it's a secondary weapon, and it's kind of cool, but it's 3 time tokens, and for fighters it really should have been 2, and you might have had something. I guess if you want to run this on Fed or Hideki fighters, it's maybe worth the 5 points to get the extra attack dice, but again, this is another one you just can't really justify the points. I will say that the one place that this is nice is when you do a come about, you'll actually be able to spend your target lock and get a reroll on your dice. But besides that, good luck. Alright, last 2 cards. Hidden Formation, 5 points. Add the Sensor Echo action to your action bar. When performing the Sensor Echo action, you may only use a 1 straight maneuver template instead of 1 or 2. So, gimped Sensor Echoing. If your squadron is cloaked, after performing a Sensor Echo action, you may discard this card to immediately perform an additional Sensor Echo action as a free action, and if you do so, place an auxiliary power token. So that's like doing a 3 Sensor Echo, or a 1 to the side and then a 1 back, which actually lets you go a little bit forward or a little bit backwards, which is actually kind of cool, but then you've lost the card. Hidden Formation would have been cool if they let you Sensor Echo with the 1 bank. That would have been a nice thing. Yeah. Missed opportunity here. The last card in this pack. Focus Strike. If you damage an opposing ship's hull with a critical damage, you may discard this card to draw 3 damage cards, and choose which one to place beside the enemy ship's card. Discard the other 2. Here's the 1 card I actually do like, because if you manage to get a crit through, and that's a big if, but if you do, you want to make sure that it counts for something. And drawing 3 cards is going to give you a really good chance of finding a nasty crit. I'm talking about Stunned Helmsman, Direct Hit, Warp Core Breach, Jostled Navigator, the auxiliary control room one that gives them an Ox Power token right away. Whatever it is that they don't want to have, you've got a really good shot of finding it, and you'll have something to do. So Focus Strike is the one card in this pack that I actually like. Plus, I'm willing to pay 6 points to put this on a Dominion or a Fed ship. Alright, overall, I think it's pretty clear, but I do not like these fighters. I cannot find redeeming qualities for like half this stuff. So rather than trying, I'm going to sit here and indulge the haters and just trash it. Because it's that bad. WizKids screwed this one up. And from the design of this ship, it's just bad. There's nothing that can be done to save it except to give it a different maneuver dial and to change out like half the cards in this expansion. So I don't know what went wrong, but clearly whoever designed it and whoever playtested it did not have a notion of what this would do in the competitive scope of what fighters are. See, the thing is, if Dominion and Fed fighters were not big things, this wouldn't be a huge problem. And if we didn't have upgraded phasers and weapon ports coming in the reinforcement boosters, again, this wouldn't be DOA. But those things together just make this worthless. And I cannot support this, and I cannot say with any fiber of my being that this is actually worth supporting and getting. And look, I found a redeeming card, Hidden Formation, and Reconnaissance isn't bad if they fix the ruling about scan tokens and the way that they interact with Cloaked Minds. But until they do that, forget it. If they fix it, then this pack becomes worthwhile. But that's it. So I'm going to leave it there, because I don't want to fill this space with any more hate. I wanted to like this pack. I was really excited when I knew that the fighters would cloak. I really was. I wanted to like it, and I just can't. So until next time, we'll see you around the shipyard. Take care, guys.